It's been an exciting moment today, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to another edition of the Evening Political Rumbles. I remain the host anchor Chigozie Ndibo. Thank you so much for my esteemed fans who has subscribed to our channel. I will want to say a big thank you for doing so. And if this is the first time, or perhaps you have not subscribed to this channel, I want to appeal that you do so to encourage us, and is a show of solidarity to this noble cause and, of course, the service to humanity. Thank you so much. In today's edition, we shall be bringing your way a very pertinent issue, of course, of national concern within our political sphere, of course, rocking the entire that have unsettled so many quarters, and there are some reactions, of course, sparking up as a result of this current situation. That's of recent. The Ahmed Bola Tinubu of the APC presidential aspirants, of course, announced lately his presidential running mates, of course, in the next general election slated 2023. Yes, it has sparked several reactions and misfeelings about the acceptability and the credibility of that Muslim ticket, especially in a moment where there is so many discrepancy, there is so many resentment, there's so many, of course, overheated issues bordering on mostly political fanaticism, bigotry, and intolerance, of course, across the length and breadth of the Nigerian state, leading to several attacks on the predominantly Christian communities, not just in the south, not just in the north either, but has been extended to the south, where Christian communities and worshippers have become targets of cruelty, targets of injustice of recent times. What should have informed, of course, the position of Alhaji Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is a Muslim to the core, to have settled for a Muslim ticket in a moment like this, something he could not do in 2015 when he expressed his interest to run as the running mate to Muhammadu Buhari then, but saw that that could, of course, narrow his chances of the party of to clinching to the power or ousting the incumbent president of PDP in the person of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. But now that Nigeria seems to be, of course, heading to the cliff, seems to be more divided. The appointment of this administration of Muhammadu Buhari seems to be on the basis of religious considerations. You can understand some sensitive positions are being occupied prominently by the Islamic Islamic faithfuls, rather than, of course, all the Christian communities enjoying the same equitable distribution of such portfolios or sensitive appointments in this administration, which, and not just to say the least, that the body language of the perhaps the government of the day seems to be complicit, aiding the, of course, the incessant attacks on Christian communities, which seems to, of course, be a daily occurrence of recent time It's very unfortunate, and most of these perpetrators have not been brought to book. And now there are rumors from several quarters there is an attempt by the Islamic apologists, of course, within the corridor of power to Islamize the Nigerian state. Now, if the Muslim ticket should be brought to fore now, could it be said as a perfection of that alleged a move by the, of course, Islamic apologies within the corridors of power to perfect and perpetuate that agenda, that obnoxious and hidden agenda to overrun the entire country? Nigeria is said to be, of course, a secular state where we have diversities of religion as recognized by the Constitution, that everybody has the right to express his religious affiliations and express his religious beliefs. But does that, of course, seems to be happening of recent time? And why should, of course, Ahmed Bola Tinubu accept the Muslim ticket suggested to him by El Rufai Dangoje of Kano State, and of course Shetima, which eventually settles as a running mate of the All Progressive presidential aspirants in the person of the Tinubu, the Jagaban of Lagos. I would want to point out, could it be an attempt, of course, to frustrate his presidential move or bid by the Northern Caliphate, who persuaded him and insisted that he must go with Muslim ticket, while the PDP counterpart from the north settled with a Christian running mate? Could it be said to have some hidden agenda to frustrate Ahmed Bola Tinubu, knowing fully well that Muslim ticket will be opposed or will not, of course, gain general acceptance? Is it a targeted attack on his presidential ambition, or perhaps to give the northern counterpart, who has gone for a Christian, of course, running mate, and a better opportunity to emerge or to clinch to the, of course, the office of the president comes 2023? This is, of course, a very critical issue we must not dismiss, and we must not, of course, ignore at this moment. Coming from his antecedents, I mean Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who, of course, lost the same ambition of becoming the running mate of Buhari in 2015. But when he was persuaded to back down based on that consideration for equity, for fairness, that there should be balance and fairness in the choice of who becomes the running mate to Buhari then, who is a Muslim, that, of course, for equity and fairness, the Christian counterparts should merge with him. But he, of course, eventually bought into the idea and has to relinquish that vice president position to Professor Yemi Osibanjo. What could have led to a change of mind when he eventually emerges as the presidential aspirant or flag bearer of APC, that he decided to settle for a Muslim ticket in a multi-plural, of course, society, ethno ethno-religious society like Nigeria, that have become more porous. Of course, our our collective existence has been threatened by religious sentiments, religious fanaticisms, by those who thought other regions or religions perhaps are infidels. And now that he finally settles for this uh, Muslim ticket, could it be said perhaps to be committing a political suicide? Well, I will want to know what is your own comment and position in respect to these pertinent issues. They are on comment sessions so that it will be more interacting and we keep the tempo very high so that we can make decisions. Well, according to Ahmed Bolachin, we said it was based on competence. That if competence should be brought to fore, does it mean that in 2015 he was not competent enough to become the running mate to Buhari, irrespective of the Muslim ticket? What did he saw different in Shetima that he decided to settle with him? That is very important issue. And how could, of course, the public accept or, of course, embrace that Muslim ticket? You understood that most Christians voted for him in APC in 2015, but it appears now that the the leadership style of the APC is no longer acceptable by the people. It's no longer welcomed by the people. And now that they decided to settle for Muslim tickets, well, what could become perhaps that may narrow the chances of APC to remain or consolidate in that Oval Office. What do you think? Do you think differently from my own perspective? Well, let us know at the comment section so that everybody will be given equal opportunity to express his own opinion on matters of national concern. Or do you think it is the right thing to have been done by the APC presidential aspirants, considering the person of Shetima, of course, we don't forget the Chibok Girls Gate that led to the adoption of over 300 and something school start children. When there was an instruction from the federal that Shetima should adhere to the instruction to safeguard the life of these children and, of course, avert possible adoption, which eventually flouted and did what he think is best, or he was reluctant or indifferent about that, and eventually it led to one of the most national catastrophe or disaster ever experienced, which of course would capitalize, of course, to gain cheap political propaganda against the then incumbent president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. It is a man you are considering to be competent. Well, is there any other definition apart from my own of general perspective of what competence should be? Well, I think Ahmed Bola Tinubu has a duty to let the public know, and of course, especially the electorate who should, of course, go to election. The reason why they should support the Muslim ticket. Well, I'm not saying that that is bad. If, of course, there is tranquility, if there is tolerance, religious tolerance, if there is, if APCs perhaps may have done better, have delivered dividends of democracy, perhaps people might reconsider, of course, uh, and based on achievement, based on service rendered to the populace, will want to, of course, give their own vote to APC comes 2023. But if perhaps APC have not done anything to deserve that, I think not even this Muslim ticket could do them any good. Well, it is left for the electorate to decide. What, of course, is your own comment? I will want to know. Let us know what is your own position so that we can move forward Yes, and could it be said that it was intentional uh, that Ahmed Bola Tinubu is deceived to commit such a political murder? Well, time will reveal the reality. Time will also reveal. Time is a great revealer, and we, the populace or the electorate, will be allowed to make their informed decisions based on the current realities. Until we meet again some other time, remain blessed and have a great day.